and then to squander one's wealth by womanizing, drinking, gambling, etc. is another cause for downfall. And then another cause for downfall is an old fool who takes a young wife. Old man takes a young wife, every night cannot sleep because the young wife talked to another young man. And then being over ambitious is also a cause for downfall. And then putting in authority someone without moral conduct. Suppose you have a business, you appoint a manager who has no moral conduct, he will swindle you. So these are all the different ways of getting blessings that will help you in many ways in life. So I shall end here. You can ask any question you like.
I'm going to speak on while we are waiting for the brothers and sisters to refine their questions, I have collected a few from the floor. May I just share the first question by Brother Kimsey? The question is about Suranagama Sutta, the ultimate end of Dhamma, and maybe Brother Kimsey would want probably to mention a little bit on that.
Which sutta?
Suranagama Sutta.
It's a Mahayana Sutra. Yeah? Where's the brother? Let me see. Huh? Is it the Mahayana Sutra?
I'm not sure. I just talking about the decay and destroy of the Dhamma after that's what Bhante said, right? The Dhamma will be destroyed by the monks.
The one I mentioned is in the Samyutta Nikaya, chapter 16, Kassapa Samyutta.
Okay. So what I hope Bhante can elaborate further on that.
Oh, in that sutta, the Buddha said that the Dhamma will not disappear as long as fake Dhamma has not arisen in the world. But when fake Dhamma arises in the world, then the true Dhamma will slowly disappear. So the Buddha said, it is these foolish people here who cause the fake Dhamma to arise. Foolish people here, the Buddha is referring to the Sangha, because the Buddha was talking to all the monks. So it is the monks, later monks, who create this fake Dhamma by writing all these later books. So the Buddha said that we have to be careful, we have to preserve the true Dhamma. So in the suttas, as I mentioned, Anguttara Nikaya 4.180, the Buddha said that in several suttas, the Buddha said his teachings is called the Dhamma Vinaya. In the Buddha's time, there was no Tripitaka. Tripitaka was coined later. During the Buddha's time, there's only Dve Pitaka, two Pitakas, Dhamma and Vinaya. And in the Anguttara Nikaya 4.180, the Buddha said that whatever a monk says, he must compare it with the suttas and the Vinaya. That means Dhamma Vinaya is Sutta Vinaya. So Dhamma only refers to the suttas. Also we know the Buddha said that the true Dhamma will last 500 years. Meaning after 500 years, fake Dhamma would arise. Then we find exactly 500 years after the Buddha's passing away, Mahayana Sutras appeared, and Abhidhamma, and commentaries, and other books. So, for example, the Mahayana Sutras, there were several people who wrote those Mahayana Sutras. One of the one of the main persons who wrote, his name was Nagarjuna. In Chinese, they call him Long Su Pusa. Those of you who are familiar with Mahayana, you will know. And in his biography, they asked him, Bhante, formerly we did not hear such sutras. Why is it now you see this Rusa Woven? These are the words of the Buddha. And then you know what he said? He said the Buddha hid all these Mahayana books in the dragon palace in the ocean. And then he used his psychic powers. He went into the ocean and brought up these books from the dragon palace. He must be hallucinating. Because during the Buddha's time, there were no books. Everybody knows there were no books during the Buddha's time. So this dreamer, he dreamt he went into the ocean to bring out all these books. But people like him create such bad karma, he's probably roasting in hell now.
This Sakyamuni and Abhidhamma, are they the same?
Is the North Pole and the South Pole the same? Sakyamuni Buddha is the only Buddha that we know. Other Buddhas are... In the suttas, the Buddha said he looked into the past. One night, he did not sleep. The whole night he was looking into the past, and he said he looked into the past 91 world cycles, and he saw only 6 Buddhas willing to teach. Only 6 Sammasambuddhas. But there is a sutta, the Isigili Sutta and the Majjhima Nikaya, where the Buddha said at one time outside Rajagaha, on the hill called Isigili, there were 500 Pacheka Buddhas. So you can find Pacheka Buddhas, hundreds and hundreds at one time, but Sammasambuddha you cannot find. 91 world cycles, only 6 Buddhas willing to teach. So most of the Buddhas are not willing to teach. Even our Buddha, Gautama, after he was enlightened, he decided not to teach. Because he saw we are led by greed, hatred and delusion. And the holy path is going upstream, going against your natural tendencies of greed, hatred and delusion. Very few people want to practice that. Very few people want to listen to the true Dhamma, because our true Dhamma is a DIY religion. Do it yourself. Nobody can help you. So our Buddha decided, Gautama decided not to teach. But then one of the Mahabrahma came, I think Brahma Sahampati, came and pleaded with our Buddha. This Brahma Sahampati used to be a monk in the previous Buddha's time. So when he saw a Buddha, he pleaded with our Buddha to teach. I say it's true, most people won't be interested. See, Malacca, so many people, but in Malacca town, so many people, so few of you want to come and listen to Dhamma talk. Yeah, people prefer to watch TV. Yeah. So he said, it's true, most people are not interested, but there are some with little dust in their eyes. If you don't teach them, they cannot progress. So the Buddha contemplated again. Then he found it's true that some people would be willing to practice the spiritual path. So he decided to teach. So later books, they talk about 24 Buddhas, said that the Buddha met 24 Buddhas. But actually the Buddha only met one Sammasambuddha, which is the Buddha Kassapa. The story about Dipankara Buddha, the Buddha met Dipankara Buddha in the past and met 23 other Buddhas who predicted that he will become a Sammasambuddha. All this is fairy tales. And then in Mahayana, they have 88 Buddhas. Every evening they chant 88 Buddhas. So all these are later creations. Amitabha Buddha is supposed to be the Persian sun god. Persian sun god. The sun, every day the sun sets where? In the west, isn't it? So they say Amitabha resides in the west. 西方极乐世界. Yeah. And then in Chinese, they say Amitofo is 无量光,无量寿, limitless light and limitless life. That is a characteristic of the sun. So the Amitabha Sutra says that the Amitabha, out of compassion for living beings, made a vow. Made a vow that if you chant his name, by the power of his vow, you'll be reborn in the pure land in heaven. But then in our Theravada Suttas, the Buddha said, what you want, you pray, you will never get. You make a vow, you won't get. You cry for it, also you won't get. You have to work for it and work the right way. So the Buddha gave examples. The Buddha said, suppose a person wanted oil. So this smart person, he took sesame seeds. Then he ground the sesame seeds. And then he gets oil. Somebody from far, his eyesight not very good. He thought he wanted to do the same thing. He takes sand and he grinds the sand. When he cannot get, he prays to Kuan Yin. When he cannot get, he makes a vow to Amitabha, can get or not. Cannot get. Because you are doing the wrong thing. If you do the right thing, you don't have to pray, you don't have to make vow, you don't have to ask anybody for it. Just do the right thing and you'll get. So another example the Buddha gave is a person wanted butter. So he took milk and he stirred the milk. Keep stirring the milk. After some time, the milk becomes butter. Yeah, you don't have to pray, you don't have to make vow, anything. But another foolish fellow, he wants butter, he takes water and churns the water, keep churning the water. 100 years or so will never get. Yeah, but they're not doing the right thing. So that's why the Buddha said, prayers will not get you what you want. Vows will not get you what you want. So unless you're familiar with the early suttas, all these contradictions you don't know. Okay.
But they see you saying there's more and more fake Dharma in the futures. So what should we do now to ensure we have a blessing to expose this true Dharma in our next many life?
Study the suttas. Listen to the suttas again and again until you get right view. Once you get right view, you have become an Arya. And once you become an Arya, you have an autopilot inside. Next time you come back, even there's no Dhamma in the world, you will know how to walk the path. Because the Buddha said, once you have attained right view and become an Arya, the Buddha said, you become independent of others in the Dhamma. You don't need a teacher. Your teacher is inside you. Your Adi Guru is inside you.
Another question from our member. Moving from the question that my brother just asked, and also referring to yesterday's talk about jhana. And the question is jhana for layman is almost impossible because it is related closely to the Eightfold Path. So for a layman, would it be right possible path for them to move on from it?
What?
Yesterday Bhante was saying that,
No, the last part. What did you say? The last part?
to simplify the question, can a layman attain jhana by moving towards the Eightfold Path?
There is a sutta called Mahachattarisaka Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 117. In that sutta, the Buddha said the way to practice the Aryan Eightfold Path is to start with right view. The only way to practice the Aryan Eightfold Path is to start with right view. Because right view, once you get it, it will bring you to right thoughts. Why? Because when you have right view, you have gotten rid of wrong views. You have gotten rid of wrong prejudices. You have gotten rid of wrong thoughts. So you naturally have right thoughts. Yeah? And once you have right view and right thoughts, you will have right speech, the third factor. Because before you can speak, you have to think. Yeah? So you have right thoughts, you will naturally have right speech. And then the fourth factor is right action. If you have right view and right thoughts, you will also have right action. Because before you act, you also have to think. And after that is right livelihood. You see, you have right thoughts, right speech, right action, so you naturally have right livelihood. Yeah. So once you have right view, you get the other four factors automatically, will follow automatically. Then after that, you have to make effort. Once you study the Dhamma, you have to make effort to practice the 6, 7 and 8 factor. Now, once you get the first factor right view, you have already become an Arya. You don't need to practice jhana. The Sotapanna, the first path attainer and the first fruit attainer, does not have jhana. This is confirmed by Samyutta Nikaya 55.40. There's only one sutta that says the Sotapanna does not have jhana. So don't think of jhana. Think of listening to the suttas and get right view. That's enough. It's better than striking the first prize Toto. Because you will benefit lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Once you get right view, the Buddha says your blessings is very, very great already. You will never be reborn as a ghost, an animal, or go to hell. You'll only come back as a human being and go to heaven. And each time you come back, you have great blessings. You have ayuvano sukhang balang. You have longer life than most people. Whether in human realm or deva realm, you exceed the others in long life. Secondly, in beauty. Thirdly, in happiness. You feel deep happiness inside. And then the fourth, you'll be famous. And then that balang consists of fame. And another one is you have authority. Authority. So for a lay person, don't aim for jhana, because for a lay person, it's almost impossible to get jhana. Important thing is to study the suttas, listen to the suttas again and again. The Buddha said there are two thoughts in his mind frequently. One is the thought of seclusion. He wants to be alone so that he can go into his mind. And then because when he goes into his mind, he feels very blissful, pleasant abiding. The second thought is worried about living beings, worried about us, worried that we will fall into the three woeful planes. That's why for 45 years he kept teaching the suttas. Did the Buddha teach meditation to lay people? Never. Buddha never taught meditation to lay people because he knows for lay people it's almost impossible to really meditate and attain the jhanas. But you can meditate a little and try to get a hold of your mind. If we don't meditate, as we grow older, we become what? Bong tong, lo mò liao. Yeah. So once you get the right view, that's the most valuable thing you can get in life. Something that you can bring to you for yourself, life after life.
One thing, by getting right view, you have dropped the three factors.
No. When you get right view, you only attain the path. And then it takes some time for that path to mature and become fruit. When it turns into fruit, a few years later, then the three factors fall away.
So the right view will give you much the path. And after dropping the three factors, then you get to the fruit, to the path.
Yeah.
Another question that I have in mind is this sutta that I read, I can't remember the number of the sutta. This old man of 120 years old approached the Buddha and he said that I have not been practicing or learning much Dharma. And I am 120 years old now, I will die any time. What could I do? And Buddha's reply was that you go back and practice all these six and hopefully you can build a shelter. What is this shelter?
Shelter means a shelter from suffering. You won't suffer so much. Just now I said about lay people getting right view, and also that the Buddha spent all the 45 years teaching the Dhamma. So the Buddha calls all the Buddhists during his time Savaka, hearers or listeners. In Chinese we say Sen Wen, hearers. So only if you listen to the Buddha's words in the suttas, you are considered a Buddhist. If you don't listen to his words in the sutta, you are not considered a Buddhist. That's why also in this sutta, Samyutta Nikaya 55.40, the Buddha said, if you don't listen to his words and attain stream entry, you are not a Buddhist at all. The Buddha said you are a Bahiro. Bahiro is a Huai Tao, external sect follower.
Sorry, Bhante, my question is not very related to Dhamma, but I'm a medical student and I'm going to be a doctor. So I want to ask, as a doctor, if I'm saving my patient's life and treating the patient, but in return I'm taking money for that, is it considered a sin? Or and if my patient dies accidentally, is it considered my sin?
No. That is his karma. When he dies, is his karma. You are earning your living in a legal way, in a lawful way. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong.
You mentioned about the 14 kinds of offerings, right?
About what?
The 14 kinds of offerings. 14 kinds of offerings. So,
personal offerings.
Yeah. How do we differentiate the fourth part of dinners, the third part of dinners?
The what?
The fourth. How to differentiate the fourth part of dinners, or third part, or second part, or first part of dinners?
Oh, you won't know. You just give, and depends on who you give to, you will get the corresponding result. Why? Arya only you want to give, not Arya.
So it's how to especially now with the many fake monks, right? So how do we know that they are fake monks? Are we then propagating the fake monks to come out if we just give,
You can give, the Buddha said, you can give whoever you like. But the Buddha said that if you give with the intention of supporting the Sangha, even if the monks are corrupt, you still get a lot of blessings. Because you support the Sangha will continue. No? If you don't support the Sangha might be broken. No more monks in future. No?
I'd like to ask the advice from you. Is this precept that refrain from intoxicants? Because sometimes when we have celebrations, at home or with the friends, and we occasionally take a drink or two, would it considered very serious and breaking the precept?
To me, no. There are some monks who say even if you take one drop, already broken the precept. But you must understand, originally the Buddha did not make this precept. In other words, originally the Buddha allowed people to drink. It was only after one of his monk disciples became drunk by drinking too much. Then only the Buddha made the precept. So sometimes, like you go for a dinner and everybody yam sing, and you don't yam sing, people not happy. So you just take a bit. But you must know your limit. Can't hear you. Yeah, as long as you don't get intoxicated, it's alright. One thing, you must be careful because sometimes, even though we are not intoxicated, and then after drinking a bit, sometimes we say things that we should not say, do things we should not do because you feel so relaxed, you don't feel any. One thing, liquor is not very good for the brain. When I was a young man, I also joined older men, go and drink. And after that I noticed, hey, forget this, forget that. No. So I realized, just like when I was a young man, I smoked. Then I found out that my stamina went down by half. Then after that I gave up.
Any other questions? I think maybe we can take 1 or 2 more questions.
Any more written questions?
Yeah, I have 2 more actually. One question says that it is said that the mind is the root of all evil and also goodness. So how can we direct our mind towards doing more goodness than evil? In other words, how do we tame the mind?
It's a good question. Dhammapada verse 1 and 2 says that mind is the forerunner of all states. Mind is chief. Mind made are they. If one acts with a pure mind, happiness follows one. Like the wheel follows the foot of the ox. If one acts with an impure mind, suffering follows one. Like the shadow that never leaves one side. So, if you have a pure mind, you will act in a wholesome way. Your actions will be wholesome. If you have an impure mind, your actions will be impure. Now what decides that you have a pure mind and an impure mind? Whether you have a wholesome mind or unwholesome mind, that is very important. If you have right view, then you will have a wholesome mind and you act with wholesome actions. If you have wrong view, you don't believe in karma vipaka, you have a lot of anger and hatred, then you will create unwholesome actions. That's why Dhamma is so important. Dhamma is the most important guide in life. Our parents also cannot teach us as much as the Dhamma. And the Dhamma benefits us this life and future lives. So the most valuable commodity in life is Dhamma. Dhamma is priceless. That's why the Buddha said the gift of Dhamma is the greatest gift. There's nothing more valuable than giving Dhamma. When we don't know Dhamma, we do a lot of wrong things that we never suspected was wrong. So the Buddha said, if a person creates evil karma and lands in hell, and the hell fires are burning him, he will remember, oh, last time I killed so and so, I did such and such evil. He will remember. That time is too late already. That time you have remorse, also no use. So it's very, very important to be guided by Dhamma every day. You see, our thoughts determine our actions. And our actions of body, speech and mind can become habitual, become our habits. And our habits become our character. And our character shapes your soul. We have a soul inside us that is shaped by our character. If you have a ngao jing character, gu khe, you have an animal inside you. If you are selfish, you have a ghost soul inside you. If you know the Dhamma and practice it according to the Dhamma, you have a Deva or Devi inside you. That's why the moment we die, it is our character that brings us. That's why the Buddha said, if you want to be reborn in heaven, you have to change your character so that you have become a Deva or Devi in this very life. Even before your body dies, your soul has turned into a Deva or Devi. So the moment you leave the body, you will go to heaven. But unfortunately, most people don't listen to the Dhamma and they are selfish. And so, as they say, kiki ku kiki. Then when they pass away, this ghost will come out. And sometimes even before they pass away, 2 or 3 days before they pass away, the face has already changed into a ghost face. Yeah, see me.
So the Sutta says that the round of river, samsara is without beginning and without end. So I'm thinking, if a person has become fully enlightened, is it that this statement itself does not apply to that fully enlightened person?
If a person becomes enlightened, then?
It seems like this statement only applies to people who are not fully enlightened. Because if like an arhat, he has no more self. So for him, the terms like samsara, rebirth has no beginning and no end, it seems like it doesn't apply to him.
Yes.
Is this understanding?
Because he's got out of samsara.
Okay. Thank you.